This video is sponsored by War Thunder. There are a lot, and I mean a lot of Geometry Dash clones, and today I want to have some fun and expose a couple of them. The second I opened up this first app, before I even got into any gameplay, I was greeted with this insane surprise paywall. Just guess how much I have to fork over for the privilege of playing Pixel Ride Jump to the Beats. $1? $2? How about $240 a year? I was right about to instantly skip this game when I noticed this little X in the corner here that let me play in trial mode, which gave me a few attempts on each level. I just had to make every single one count to see what the hell they were charging the price of 80 Geometry Dashes a year for. That's enough copies of the game for your entire class and your friend's class and your extended family. The first level felt like stereo madness, but I noticed right off the bat the insane jump height of the cube. Ignore my default icons, by the way. Icon customization was locked behind that paywall, and they didn't look that good anyway. The first level was okay until this part. Oh god, do not let GD Colon see this coin route, he'll go insane. It's literally easier than going the normal route, and I stumbled into it by complete accident. Aren't coins supposed to be a challenge? Why am I getting F tier game design for a premium price? There are only 5 levels, by the way, and they're each as bad as the first one. How did 1 million people download and play this? God, if I'm getting frustrated now, I'm genuinely not gonna make it through the rest of this video. But we need to push on. This game is only the tip of the iceberg. We must expose the hidden world of Geometry Dash clones and defend our favorite multi-millionaire game dev. Even if he took 7 years to release update 2.2, and I'll probably end up playing 2.3 with my grandchildren. From the way these games are described in their AI-generated descriptions, you'd think you're in for a once-in-a-lifetime adventure.
If you're craving an intense challenge, Geometry Dash, Labubu Hardcore delivers it in full force. You control Labubu, a fluffy yet fearless character, navigating through brutally difficult levels packed with spikes.
But you end up just getting this. This is pure clickbait. Like, if you thought YouTube clickbait was bad, just look at these scam websites that host fake GD games. Here you have Geometry Dash Sub-Zero, which steals from this Dan TDM thumbnail for some reason. When you click on the game and actually try to play Sub-Zero, it just turns out to be a random set of terrible 1.0 levels. It's the same thing with Geometry Light, which is supposed to be like Geometry Dash Light, except there are all sorts of random changes made to the levels for reasons I can't explain. Here's Base After Base, for example, which had its simple yet enjoyable gameplay completely butchered in the first bit here, only to switch to the actual level a few seconds later. All the levels in this clone are like this, and they've all had their names changed too. Step After Step for Base After Base, Stereo Dash for Stereo Madness, Drought for Dry Out. It was all just so weird. These scam websites are even stealing and clickbaiting GD games that don't even exist. Here's Geometry Dash Breeze, which was a fan-made spin-off built by a small team of creators. The levels in this stolen clone look similar to the original, but the songs were completely different, making the gameplay not sync at all. At first, I thought this was a copyright issue, but 2 of the 3 songs in the game were completely free to use. And let's keep it a buck, man. I don't think the creators of this bootleg game care much about copyright if they're ripping stuff straight from Geometry Dash. So then I realized they're just so stupid that they picked the wrong songs by accident. You know, these guys are just here to make a quick buck off these scam games. They're just chasing that ad revenue. So if you're gonna give these games a try, which I wouldn't recommend for obvious reasons, at least play with an ad blocker. Don't repeat my mistake. Yo, what is this ad? Are you serious? What is this guy doing? You would think putting ads everywhere would be enough, but in some games, they literally play in the middle of a level. Oh, that is sneaky. These guys make extra money when you actually click on the ads, so they're trying to trick people into clicking for them. They want to squeeze me for every dollar I got, dude. They want to suck me dry. When I opened Geometry Game 3D, I felt a weird sense of deja vu. Okay, wait. Step after step, step jump, never give up. Yo, this is from that that one game. Oh my gosh. Remember Geometry Light from earlier? The weird clone where all the level names were changed. Geometry Game 3D was just like that, so I started playing and I realized these are the same exact levels from Geometry Light except 3D now. Wait, are you telling me that these GD clones are copying off each other? Great, now we've got copies of copies of copies, because as many GD veterans would know, Geometry Dash itself is a clone of the Impossible game, but we'll talk more on that later. The funny thing is, this is an actual lore accurate GD cube. This is a square. This is a cube. Even the infants who play these crappy games would know this. Despite only being a few games in, I started noticing terrible tropes that nearly every clone had. Trope number 1, gravity that makes you feel like you're either on Jupiter or on the moon. Trope number 2, throwing you right into a challenge, like starting the game with freaking Hexagon Force of all levels. This should go without saying, but there is a reason why video games always start off easy. This is like trying to teach a baby how to swim, but instead of bringing them to a kiddie pool, you just chuck them into the deep end. Trope number 3, Roblox. There were so many clones on there. The platform has this little problem where developers are free to take an existing game's idea, steal it, and just print money by shoving game passes and in-app purchases in your face. After running the numbers, I was floored to find out that these games get more visits than Geometry Dash gets players on Steam. At least these Roblox clones were somewhat polished and even brought new stuff to the table, like multiplayer.
There's a random guy behind you.
Oh yeah, I see him too. Or them. They can be anybody.
Or them.
Yeah.
That's true, that's true. The 1% chance that anyone other than a 9-year-old boy is playing this with us right now.
Oh, that's true. GD clone trope number 4. Weird attempts to avoid using actual Geometry Dash assets for copyright reasons. Like, look at this game unironically using the Impossible Demon meme to avoid stealing actual demon faces in game. This other one remade GD's actual icons, but just made them a billion times worse. These monsters look cursed. This background looks off. These difficulty faces look like they were made in seconds. And this game actually used the funk remix of Stereo Madness as background music. Do not let the GD Brainrot Shorts guys hear this. They'll all swarm on it like gaming YouTubers on my nerves. Trope number 5. Games that had nothing to do with Geometry Dash but still copied GD assets anyway to hijack its popularity. Which is really sad because they were actually really fun to play, and I'd see them performing great if they were completely original and advertised as their own standalone thing instead of being some crappy bootleg. Trope number 6. Bugs everywhere. Holy crap, why is that so loud? Why does it like restart the song every time I change the menus, bro?
Oh my god, look at my cube, bro.
Yeah.
How did I die there? Yo!
Huh? There's literally no reason for me to die there. Okay, that's enough. If I play another second of these crappy games, I'm gonna play that one Stereo Madness part with the fake out spike, but jump right into it. IRL. I want to talk about how Geometry Dash itself was a clone, but rent is due, man. And I've got an amazing sponsor to talk about. War Thunder. It's the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made. You can fight others in dynamic PvP battles using over 2,500 different tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships of 10 different nations, ranging from old armored cars of the 1920s to the modern beasts of today. Immerse yourself in the battlefield with realistic graphics, detailed vehicles, and authentic sound effects. I love the game because it's so well optimized. It runs great even on lower end machines. Look, let's keep it a buck. If you've watched my videos before, I know this isn't the first time you've heard me talk about War Thunder. So what are you waiting for? The game is free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and now mobile. Sign up using my links in the pinned comment or video description to get a massive bonus pack, which gives multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive Eagle of Valor vehicle decorator, 100,000 silver lions, and 7 days of premium account access. Only new players and those who haven't touched the game for the past 6 months on PC and console can collect it. Be quick, the bonus is only for a limited time, so join the over 95 million strong community and experience War Thunder for yourself today. Thank you to War Thunder for supporting this video. Sponsors like these help me pay my editor friends and save for college. Okay, now let's talk about how Geometry Dash itself is a clone. This is the Impossible Game by Fluke Dude, created way before RobTop even started game dev and was busy screwing around making videos like this and this. Until researching for this video, I never realized how much RobTop really stole from this game. Everything from this how to play screen and the way the practice mode buttons were laid out, it all felt the same. And remember that infamous fake out section in Stereo Madness? This super iconic part was ripped straight from the Impossible Game too, except here there's an annoying blind jump right after, which pissed me off to no end. But what did I expect? It was the Impossible Game after all. To be honest, Fluke Dude had what was coming to him. The Impossible Game only had one level and the rest were hidden behind a paywall after you already paid for the game itself. And instead of adding more content, he just started working on some random Fruit Ninja-like game, which is really weird because the Impossible Game was a viral hit. Tons of YouTubers were giving it a try. It was the perfect rage game for content. So then Geometry Dash comes along with way more levels, each packed with new gameplay mechanics aside from just a jumping square, and icon customization, and a custom level creator, and online levels which allowed for infinite playtime for the price of a McDonald's burger. And I'm just talking about the game at release. Don't forget about all the stuff that's been added since. RobTop has been keeping us fed with frequent updates. Okay, I can't. Geometry Dash blew up while the Impossible Game was left to die. And yeah, Fluke Dude did eventually lock in and added a custom level builder, but that was 5 years too late. By then, the Geometry Dash train had begun rolling and it wasn't stopping for anyone. Now, all RobTop had to do was sit back, keep releasing updates, and his game would stay on top. And then the 2.2 wait happened. By 2022, we had spent over half of the game's entire existence waiting for the new update. People were impatient, which gave Fluke Dude the perfect opportunity to get back at RobTop with the Impossible Game 2. Now it was Fluke Dude's turn to steal from him, sort of. This new game came with tons of new mechanics that felt like Geometry Dash but weren't an exact copy. Like in one level, Fluke Dude noticed how you can have 2 cubes in GD and said, how about 8? Oh, and do you guys want guns too? How about multiplayer? You know, RobTop has been meaning to add this to Geometry Dash forever. Many veterans know that it was the reason the update was delayed for so long, and he still wasn't able to finish it before 2.2's release. But here it is in the Impossible Game 2. What I loved about this game was that there were new mechanics introduced in nearly every level. Some would say that's too gimmicky, but I wouldn't call it that because it's not like he'd introduce a new feature and just use it for a 3-second part in a level, unlike some people. When new stuff was introduced, it was carried through the entire level, and you were progressively tested more and more on the new gameplay mechanic until you had mastered it near the end. And the frequent checkpoints allowed players to actually learn how things work without punishing you so much for failing. But the game isn't without its flaws. 95% of the gameplay was super sight readable and fair, but a good 5% was ridiculously challenging. Not because of hard gameplay, but because of pure memorization. There were parts where Fluke Dude took a level's gameplay gimmick and just threw it at you in a way that's impossible to sight read or understand. And these parts were super unsatisfying because they often happened at a level's beat drop, which is supposed to be the most epic fun parts. Checkpoints made these choke points more forgiving, I guess. RobTop's Geometry Dash levels are no strangers to memory, but at least you can understand what's going on over here. What I really can't get past is how the game lacks the professional polish expected of a modern video game. I mean, look at the World 1 boss fight. This looks like it was animated a minute before release. While I was playing, I thought it would have been cool if the boss moved to the beat of the music. After all, this is a rhythm platformer. But instead, this thing just spazzes out all over the screen like it's having a seizure. It just feels so jagged and amateur. And the gameplay here is a bit wacky. It runs into the same problem as the GD Cursed Thorn boss fight, where where the enemy, for some reason, helps you defeat itself by giving you the tools to kill it. Why? I don't know. Does it like us? If it did, it wouldn't be trying to kill us. But I guess this stuff isn't really supposed to make sense. You don't really play a rhythm game like this for the plot, you play it for the gameplay and song. I mean, Geometry Dash's lore centers around a guy named Rub Rub luring a demon into his basement with chicken. The other bosses were fun, especially this last one, which was an unexpectedly huge jump in quality. Oh my god, it's a demon. Is that a Geometry Dash reference? This final level was fun, but nothing on this earth will prepare you for how the game ends. What? Bro, if I could do that, why didn't I just do that from the start? Are you serious? Remember, this was supposed to be the final boss, the climax, the most epic level in the game, but it ends so abruptly that it makes you wonder if Fluke Dude had more stuff planned but cut it out at the last minute to meet a deadline or something, like how RobTop rushed out 2.2 with some unfinished features. You're supposed to finish strong, not weak. This is like if I decided to end this video with some corny line like,
subscribe and leave a like right now or else you'll get 7 years of bad luck.
As the credits rolled though, I was even more disappointed to find out that a lot of people worked on this game. As I was playing, I was under the impression that Fluke Dude was a solo dev, but he had an entire team working on this under the name Fluke Games. I was able to overlook the game's flaws while playing because I thought this was just one guy doing the job of an entire studio. But seeing all these talented people makes me think that they could have done so much better. Especially as just a single guy was able to make this next GD clone so authentic to the real game that I bet that you haven't noticed that throughout this entire video, all the Geometry Dash background footage actually came from it. For all intents and purposes, Dashmetry is literally Geometry Dash. You can collect stars and orbs just like Geometry Dash. You can build and share your own levels just like Geometry Dash. You can even suffer through god-awful recent tab maps just like Geometry Dash. The only big difference is the cartoonish amount of ads, which can strangely be avoided by just playing in full screen mode. I don't know if the developer was being generous or if they just didn't realize this. Dashmetry is a near perfect clone of Geometry Dash 1.9, and they're actively working on copying more features that have been added to the real game since that update, and other features that aren't even in Geometry Dash, like a wave that curves apparently. Whoever made this promo art really doesn't understand the game. You know, they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but RobTop hasn't been very flattered by Dashmetry's mysterious creator, One Games. He's declared an all-out war against them, trying to take down the web game for blatant copyright issues. But One Games has always been able to weasel themselves out. For example, the game used to be called Geometry Light, but that was obviously too similar to RobTop's Geometry Dash Light. So then it became Blocks Dash for a bit, which sounds like one of those Roblox clones. So then they settled on Dashmetry. The menu layout was changed too, so it didn't feel so Geometry Dash-like, but the gameplay was practically the same. Bro, this controls like scarily well. Like this feels like I'm playing normal GD. It's funny because the info section stresses that
Dashmetry is an original browser-based game. We are a different game and cannot associate ourselves with any games.
I wonder why anyone would ever think otherwise. Their pathetic little attempts to make the game unique for copyright reasons led to some strange design choices. In-game, you use the custom-made One Games cube, ship, ball, and wave, which aren't that great, especially the ship. It's damn near impossible to play with. You can't even switch them because the Dashmetry dev hasn't quite figured out icon selection yet, even though you can literally see GD cubes fly by on the homepage screen just like an actual Geometry Dash. How am I gonna survive without my favorite icons? Quick update, One Games has now added icon selection, but surprise surprise, half of the icons are just crappier versions of the ones that are already in GD. Also, when I first played the game in August, I noticed they stole all the GD main levels up until Club Step. Well, when I logged in the next day, I saw they had all been wiped and temporarily replaced by some featured levels created by Dashmetry players as a placeholder while they build their own new original main levels. The only thing Dashmetry has above Geometry Dash is the Endless mode, where you have to survive many levels for as long as you can. Shields offered an extra life, but they were kinda useless because they only lasted a few seconds, and shield routes were super risky. You know, the thing is, like, some of like this gameplay in the Endless mode is like recycled from like actual GD levels, but some parts aren't. Like, I've never seen this part in a Rob Top level. Because the gameplay repeats, eventually I'll just like memorize everything, so it's gonna be chill. As it turned out, everything was not chill. Little did I know that I was about to spend the next few weeks of my life trying to set a world record on a crappy bootleg that none of you guys have ever even heard of until today. To see how I ended up doing, watch until the end of this video. Yes, I know that's shameless retention hacking bullcrap, but hey, your boy's gotta pay rent somehow. The hardest part of the Endless mode was trying not to cringe at these messages that would pop up every 1500 meters or so when the difficulty increased. Level up the groove? Holy cornball.
Hold on tight, it's insane mode.
I guess I really shouldn't be mean because they are making a clone of a game that's made for kids, even though a child really shouldn't have access to some of the user-made levels in the game. What I can't put aside is some straight up sneaky gameplay. Like here, it looks like I can slide right down onto this pillar, but whoever made this gameplay thought it would be hilarious to move it half a block over, making this a death sentence. Oh. Sneaky gameplay is bad, but straight up impossible gameplay is even worse. What did I die to? Are you serious? There's no fucking way I died to that. There's nothing there. Bro, you're kidding me. There's literally nothing there. This one part, man, oh my god, it ended so many of my world record runs and made me waste so many hours. And all for what? So I can call myself the greatest Dashmetry player? As if anyone would even care? I was so pissed that I ended up joining the Discord server and reporting the bug. While in the server, I found out they were holding a $500 contest to see who can build the best maps for the new official levels. The top entries would be put in Dashmetry forever. It's kind of funny how they were outsourcing the job of building the levels to child labor. Cause let's keep it a buck. Most Dashmetry players are just kids killing time on their Chromebooks at school. But this gave me an opportunity. I'm not the best builder, but since the game was stuck in update 1.9, their standards for a good level were really low compared to modern day Geometry Dash. So this was my chance to leave an impact forever. I didn't even care about the money. I was ready to donate anything I'd win. I just really wanted to be number one. But trying to build in this editor was like trying to write your name with your other hand, well, amputated. It had all the features of the Geometry Dash editor, but things were moved around for reasons I can't even explain. Why were coins in the decoration section? Why were speed portals in the gravity portals section? Why were these slope decoration things in the spike section? They can't kill you. It was all just too much. So I decided to build the actual gameplay in Geometry Dash where I was familiar with everything and then just recreate it one-to-one in Dashmetry. This worked great until it didn't. I spent hours finishing up some gameplay, saved my progress, and then out of nowhere my level just despawned. Then Dashmetry was like, oh wait, just kidding, lol. Here it is again. Sorry for jump scaring you. What's that? Feeling relieved because your progress was saved? How about I actually delete an hour of your work because I feel like it? But after a mental breakdown, I finally present to you Chaos Impact. I know, amazing, right? Don't vote me for best creator in the GD awards though. I want to give unknown players like Blee a shot. You may have missed it, but right here I snuck in a secret message to One Games himself. F-U One Games. I mean, it's not so secret now because I just told you. Let's just hope this doesn't get my level taken down or anything. I took a break from building to livestream the Endless mode, but after dying at that freaking bug a bunch more times, I just rage quit and played some actual Geometry Dash. At least my hero GD Perfume tuned into the stream, so it wasn't all bad. But he came at literally the worst possible time because for some godforsaken reason, I was talking to my friends over voice about some interesting fan art of him that I stumbled across. And then I look in chat and he's right there. Oh. Anyway, after wasting so many hours on this stupid game mode, I was completely done with it. So I decided to just focus on finishing my level. That was the only way for me to leave my mark on the game forever. I submitted Chaos Impact for the Discord contest, and funnily enough, people were recognizing me here.
FreshLakeWater's next video is going to be exposing fake Geometry Dash.
In hindsight, I really should have gone into the server undercover. I didn't want people to think I was here to expose them, because then I wouldn't be allowed in the contest for obvious reasons. So I had to lie a bit and say I was just having fun here. People surprisingly believed it. I was even invited to help judge the contest because the guy running it for One Games turned out to be a fan of my YouTube videos. I couldn't turn down the opportunity to be part of this event and maybe convince the other judges to rate my level higher. $100 for first place is no small prize. It also gave me the chance to get closer to One Games themselves. They were super inactive in the Discord server with an average of just one message sent every 3 days or so. But suddenly I was thrust into a group chat with them and every single Dashmetry big shot. Judging these levels, I was so impressed by what these creators were able to pull off with such a limited toolset. But I couldn't help but feel enraged by how these kids were being used to run this entire Dashmetry scam operation. Let's not kid ourselves, these creations were going to be taken and put in the official levels tab, which will help One Games profit. Don't let this wholesome fun event cover up the obvious illegal copyright violation that's going on. But then again, Geometry Dash itself is a clone, so is it really worthy of being defended in this way? Whatever, man. At the end of the day, none of this really matters. I actually just won the main level contest, you know? Never mind, all this shit matters. I'm the greatest player to ever touch this game. Let's go! If you haven't tried War Thunder yet, what the heck are you waiting for? The game is free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile. And if you use my special links in the pinned comment or description, you'll get a massive bonus pack to start off your journey. Be quick, it's only for a limited time, and can only be picked up by new and returning players who haven't touched the game in the past 6 months on PC and consoles. I'll see you on the battlefield. Oh yeah, subscribe and leave a like right now or else you'll get 7 years of bad luck.